It's an utter joke. The commissioner should come out today and say, you know what? Preseason's games 1 and 4 free, and whoever wants to go can go. And if you've paid money to go to these to 1 and 4, we're giving you that money. Whatever the proration of that would be, you're getting it credited back because it is bad for the league for this to be going on. I think the only reason Lamar Jackson played is it is in Baltimore, and there's probably some sense of, had the game been here, I don't know that he sits this many out. He might, because their situation is so specific to injuries. I mean, they're basically back because they convinced ownership we would have been fine. We would have been right back in the AFC title game mix. We were 3-1 had we not lost our entire offense.
Except the quarterback did not play well.
Correct. But ownership,
if everybody had been healthy,
but ownership bought that. Ownership bought
Sure.
that, okay, you're right. It was the injury, so what are we going to do to fix it?
Yep.
And I'm sure a big part of that wasn't just, we're going to study, recover, and how to go through training camp. I'm sure a lot of it was also, we're not going to play a lot of guys in the preseason. I mean, I went through the list that I had yesterday, and it had I want to say maybe 15 guys. I was shocked when I saw the list from the Jags PR staff at how many guys, and the list was wrong because Chark and Ogbuehi ended up playing, even though they were initially included.
Decision.
Right.
I can tell you.
Well, because they had nobody.
Right.
I mean, at some point, you got to field a team.
Right.
So, I mean, Chark only went 7 snaps, so boy, he didn't go very long at all.
But Chark got rocked at one point, and I was like, oh, boy, here we go. And then Minshew got his head taken off at one point, too, and it's like, why would you play these people?
Why would you?
Yeah, and and there's other thoughts to it. The backups really struggled. They shouldn't have struggled that much. I know you're playing all backups, but it was a real struggle, man. We got to talk a little bit about quarterback. I think there's a lot of thoughts about that we have to get to. So we'll get to that coming up on the program. So today on the program, who looked good, who did not? Did they handle it the right way? What happens this week? A lot of Jaguars talk after calling the game last night and being around the team for a week. A lot of thoughts, different thoughts after being around them for a week. We'll certainly share some of that. So a lot of Jaguars talk.
Hopefully those are positive.
Some are.
Uh-oh.
Some are. Most are. Most are.
It was 29-0 last night, remember?
Oh, dude. Jags didn't get into plus territory, did they? Did they get to plus territory?
I have blocked it out of my mind, but I can pull up the.
I don't
think
they got to plus territory.
I never felt like it. All right, let's see here.
There was never a time I thought, I wonder if they'll run Lambeau out here. I can tell you that. There was never a time in the game I thought, maybe they'll just to get off the schneid. I mean, I don't think they got the plus territory, did they?
All right, so here we go.
That's pathetic.
The last point of scrimmage for the Jaguars, this was on 13 possessions last night. Own 19, own 12, own 22, the 50, own 37, own 48, own 11, own 38, own 39, own 40, own 23, own 37.
So they got to
they got to midfield.
So they never had plus territory.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, they never got to plus territory. So a lot of thoughts about that. Who did look
Somebody
good?
get me Cody Kessler.
What happens this week? A lot of that coming up on the program. Glad you're with us on a Friday. Brought to you by Big Chief Tire on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Dan Hicken.
You just got to keep living, man. Livin.
Jeff Prosser.
I'm just living the dream.
The Drill.
Just living the dream. I love that.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Nimnick Chevrolet is the #1 Chevrolet dealership in Jacksonville, and they just won Dealer of the Year for 2018. Some of the reasons they're #1 is that they have the most inventory and the best price guarantee. They've been serving and donating to this community for 78 years, and no one cares more about the customers before, but more importantly, after the sale. That's Nimnick Chevrolet. Head there today, won't you? Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
This Jaguar season, how would you like an all-inclusive air-conditioned suite for your tailgate? Mike Dempsey here for Party Shack. It's a turnkey setup that means no prep on your end. You can host clients, staff, and friends to catered food sponsored by Publix with a full bar, top deck roof lounge, and best of all, air-conditioned comfort with 2 TVs in each suite. So take your whole office or group of friends to the top-of-the-line Jaguars tailgate experience. Book your company's Party Shack suite right now at jacksvillage.com. JacksVillage.com.
Gentlemen, discover the new medical treatment that Viagra doesn't want you to know about. I'm Bradley I with Synergenics Elite Health, and we offer GainsWave. It's a simple 20-minute in-office procedure. GainsWave is non-invasive, and it restores the poor blood flow that causes ED. Stop popping pills and scheduling intimacy. Call 904-500-5500. Consultations are free. Mention this radio station for $150 off your first treatment. Call Synergenics Elite Health at 904-500-5500 to learn about the GainsWave ED treatment today.
Convenience stores are there for a reason, to be convenient. And when you're in a hurry to get to the party, drop into your local Dailies and pick up a cold case of Bud Light. Priced right and always cold. Bud Light in the cooler at your local Dailies convenience store. Remember, always drink responsibly.
It only takes a drop of water to cause someone to slip and fall, but it takes a lot more to prove that your injuries were the result of negligence. The store said the floor was dry. Our investigators learned that on the day of the accident, it had been raining.
So the next time it rained, we went back. And guess what? Rainwater was dripping from the ceiling exactly where our client was injured. When you're in for the fight of your life, investigators with 30 years of experience is a good thing. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
On base at NAS Jacks, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
The time to buy an emergency generator is before you need it, not when you're sitting in the dark. Storms happen in a hurry in Florida, so be prepared. Protect your family and property with American Electrical Contracting. Call them today, 737-7770.
Metro Router, you've probably heard of us. It's no accident that by providing same-day service, professional technicians, and the right equipment, hundreds of businesses count on us every week to keep their drains draining, their plumbing functioning, and their pumps pumping. I'm Tom McLaughlin, CEO of Metro Router. And if you are a current customer of ours, I want to thank you for your continued confidence in Metro Router. If you'd like to contact Metro Router, the plumbing service you can trust, we're on the web at metrorouter.com or just call 695-1911. Thank you.
Call Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. We want to win your business with honest and upfront transmission service. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. That's a promise from me. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Stonecore, Jacksonville's #1 shop for pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, and fireplaces, now has the highest quality all-weather outdoor furniture. Many colors, many styles, and made in the USA. At Stonecore, Phillips Highway, 1 mile north of the Avenues Mall.
From the locker room to the sideline.
All day, let's go!
No one knows the Jaguars like Johnny O. Oh, yeah. Hear Jaguars.com's John Osher on Jaguars Today. Brought to you by Florida Pump Service. We make water happen on 1010XL.
You know, you don't want to kind of go through this preseason and not really know what you have, and then all of a sudden you have injuries during the season and people go in there and they can't perform. You know, I felt like that happened to us a little bit last year. So, you know, I don't want to fall into that trap, and, you know, we're going to continue to work hard and do a good job, and we'll see how they bounce back. Usually a lot of these guys, the first time they've been out there, you usually see a big difference between the first game and the next one. You know, I thought we practiced well. We got a lot of good work in, but, you know, obviously, like I told the players, this is a, you know, performance-based business. When you get out there, you know, in a stadium, you get out there in a real game, that's what you're going to be judged on.
The comments of Doug Marrone right after the ball game last night. The Jags lose at 29-0. They weren't very good. You know that by now. Again, in fairness, they never played a starter of note. They played Cam a little bit. Chark played a handful of plays but didn't really play. They really didn't play their starters. The Ravens played first and second, offense and defensive starters into the second quarter. So the Ravens obviously were playing it like you typically would play a preseason game. So, and that set the tone for it. So in fairness to Jacksonville, I thought they battled. They just didn't play any of their guys. you'll have a way better idea this week when you got to believe both teams are going to play their starters for a quarter. So it'll have a different feel to it. In fairness to those guys, they didn't play anybody. Let's start with Gardner Minshew. Lauren, go first. Did you lose confidence in him? Do you feel like, well, what do you feel? Your Gardner Minshew thoughts one day later.
Sure. We have talked extensively about how he is a smart quarterback, but he doesn't necessarily have a big arm. Last night, I'm not even sure he looked like a smart quarterback. I thought there were lots of bad decisions. And yes, he didn't have a great offensive line in front of him. He didn't have the stable of running backs that Nick Foles will have throughout the season. But I lost a lot of confidence. And it's sad because I wanted to walk away from this going, wow, if Foles goes down, this guy can get us through 4 games. And I felt the opposite.
He was awful. Doesn't mean that he's going to be an awful player, but he was awful last night. For a lot of the reasons Lauren is talking about, what concerns me is I don't know if he has a dead arm, but his arm hasn't looked like that all camp. And I didn't see him in Baltimore, but I mean, he was missing some throws and I mean, pop gunning some throws that shocked me. I mean, he doesn't have a big arm, but at least in practice, I've never noticed him to make such a weak throw that it was like, oh, good Lord. You don't see that on this field, even from bad quarterbacks. You don't see that glaringly lack of arm strength. I thought last night it popped up 2 or 3 times. And so I don't know if maybe if he, he got hit early. I don't know if maybe something happened and, it was just like a momentary, stinger or something to that effect that he didn't report but his arm looked dead to me from having seen him live and then seeing him on TV, watching him throw. It looked like something was wrong. So if nothing was wrong, if he's physically fine, then that's the biggest concern of all, because last night he looked like somebody who just physically isn't going to be able to play in this league, if that's the best that he can do in terms of gunning the ball. The indecisiveness, the dropping of a snap, all that stuff, I think you can chalk up somewhat to first game jitters. He could have had a touchdown to DJ Chark right out of the gate for about 85 yards. I don't know if that stayed with him. And it was hard for him to get past it. So he probably learned a lot, and hopefully moving forward will grow from it. But if that's the arm, he can't play here. He can't play in this league if that's the arm.
Yeah, I'm going to reserve judgment on him because number one, he's got an average arm. I think we did see him make some weak arm throws at camp here, but it's when he was hurried, off balance, off his wrong foot. He can't make that throw.
He can't throw across his body.
He cannot make throws that he doesn't set his feet. That's correct. So, and I think last night the line play compared to the Baltimore defensive line. Remember now, let me say this again. Earl Thomas didn't play, but for the most part they played their guys. Okay, Ingram didn't play, but they played most of their guys, other than a couple key guys. Brandon Williams didn't play, but I mean they played a lot of their starters. It was the number 1 defense in the league last year. Now you're playing against most of the number 1 defense in the league last year, minus a couple guys, with not a very good line, not very good receivers, and you're playing for the first time as an NFL player, and everybody knows you got an average arm. If you add all that up, it was going to be tough. And I really believe that.
But that explains only the first quarter.
Yeah, it also explains the tenor of the game, the way the game went. I'm going to reserve John. Look, I don't think the guy's John Elway, okay?
Sure.
But I'm going to reserve judgment on Minshew until I've had a chance to see him play where he had a fighting chance. I didn't think he had a fighting chance last night.
So you want to see him play with the ones?
I do.
Yeah.
But again, at some point you got to see him play with the ones,
right?
Because that's the whole point of having a backup quarterback. Is if your quarterback gets hurt for a few games, how will the backup do with the ones? And so that's the whole point. So I'm going to reserve judgment on Minshew. I don't think he's got a particularly strong arm. I am somebody that thought he got his teeth knocked in, came right back and threw a dart. I thought that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That jumped off the page for me. So I'm going to reserve. So I'm okay with Minshew. He's clearly the only guy they got that can play as a backup. Obviously Tanner Lee, God bless him, looks beautiful on air. Throws a beautiful, big, strong guy with a tight spiral. but he's too freaked out in the game. He's going to have a tough time. Magoo's a tough guy. If you had a zone read team, if this was the Ravens or the old Jaguars, he'd be a good. I think you made that point, Lauren. If you had a zone read team where you needed a backup quarterback to be a running quarterback, he'd be pretty good. But that's not how this team's going to play.
Nope.
So I think they've got to consider bringing in somebody. I think they've got it's got to be in personnel meetings today. It has to have come up.
Doug said last night they're not going to right now.
He said
but that
it after
doesn't
the
mean,
game.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
Yeah. And by the way,
that's how they're going to feel after game 2 and 3.
Yeah, and I believe him. I believe they're not going to bring in somebody.
Let him watch the film.
Yeah, but I do believe. Well, but it had to come up with the personnel. Every position comes up in the personnel meetings. And when quarterback came up, it had to go through them.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to rewatch last night.
But I'm gonna reserve judgment on him.
Okay.
The line was really not very good. None of the receivers really flashed for me. And again, you're not playing your top guys.
What happened to Pryor? Because I definitely thought he was going to play, but he was on the list of guys that were slightly injured that didn't play.
He got a late injury. I didn't know.
He looked fine, but so I don't know if
Jawan Taylor got hurt at the end of the Tuesday practice. I can tell you that, and we knew we got word he wasn't going to play. But Pryor I did think was going to play. We on the broadcast, on the network broadcast, we all five go around the room, JP and Mike, and then the three of us. What guy are you going to watch tonight? I said Pryor. I thought he was playing. I mean, this was 3 hours before kick. I thought he was playing.
Yeah, I hope people didn't listen to the kickoff show and go, man, they were expecting so many different guys to play. Because we were even talking about the backups that we thought would play, and some of them didn't play.
So my big concern was, I'll go right to it. I'm not sure A.J. Cann played very well, and he's supposed to be a starter. I'm not sure Taven Bryan played very well. He's a guy, gosh, you need him to flash at some point. I thought he got blocked all night. And again, I'm watching the ball. I'm calling the game, so I can't focus on a guy. But I never felt like there was much from him. That concerned me a little bit. I don't know that other than Oliver, who's hurt, the tight ends all played. I don't think I saw anything. The rookie kid from Tulane dropped a pass right in the midst.
Well, you saw O'Shaughnessy false start.
Yeah, the false start. I thought so. So I'm worried about tight end. I'm worried about Cann. I'm worried about Taven Bryan. I'm worried about the other two quarterbacks other than Minshew. I'm going to reserve judgment on him. Of the things that concerned me that I thought would be better, those are the things. Those are the things that bothered me. As for the good, boy, I hope Armstead, the concussion isn't a big deal because he's a good player. There's something there. There is clearly something there with Rock Armstead. C.J. Rivas, there's something there. I got to believe he's the third safety, don't you? Because there wasn't a third safety. You know, Wingard's not the third safety. Cody Davis, who's hurt now, wasn't going to be the third safety.
I was going to say, they've been playing him a lot with the second team, and that has surprised me because last year he was really just a special teams guy.
So I think C.J. Rivas got everybody's attention. He's certainly not afraid to come up there and hit. I thought Josh Allen, the little bit he played, I think he's going to be a bear when he figures it all out and he's in there with some other guys. So he certainly flashed. You know who's pretty good? And I didn't think so. And they kind of – you know that group of journeyman linebackers, they all brought them all in? Remember they all came in, Onwualu, Alexander, Wilson, Good. They came in together.
Yeah, it was within like 24 hours.
They had all four guys. All four guys kind of came in. You know they're pretty good. Yeah, usually the guys aren't any good when you bring in this group of guys. You know they're pretty good. Did you notice that Onwualu was beating out Leon Jacobs, who I'm not sure if he's going to be what they need at strong side. I think Onwualu was going to beat him out before he got hurt. I think that's why James was so upset when he got hurt that day, because I think he was probably going to win that. He did a knee. He's gone. But I think he was going to win that job. Wilson, Good, Alexander, I think can run. I think isn't he the one that they then moved outside when Onwualu got hurt? I think Alexander moved outside. I think Alexander moved outside. So that group's pretty good. C.J. Rivas looks like he's okay. Armstead looks like he's okay. I thought Blue ran harder than I thought he'd run. He's an upright. He's very vertical. So he's a 6'2" running back. So he's got that Eddie George look to it, straight up and down runner. So I thought those guys were okay, but there's a lot of concerns. I wanted Cann to play better. I wanted Bryan to play better. I wanted Leon Jacobs to play better. They're guys that have been around a little bit, that were drafted high. A lot was expected of them. And I think they've really got to figure out what they do at backup quarterback. If it's not Minshew, it's pretty clear it's not one of the other two guys. The other two guys, I think, stick around through camp because they're camp arms. But those are kind of the concerns for me.
Did you notice anything with Minshew throwing in the joint practices?
No, I thought he threw fine.
He threw fine.
Yeah, I think what happened last night, Hayes, I think the protection, there was no – go back and watch it. Well, okay, you don't.
No, thank you.
There was never a clean pocket. There was never one of those really clean pockets. And at least he has the the presence of mind to move around a little bit in it. They ran a naked the one time when he checked it to Swaim. I say check, it wasn't a check. It was a design play, but they ran a little naked, he threw it to Swaim. But there really wasn't much of a pocket. Tanner Lee totally panicked because there wasn't a pocket.
Right.
I didn't think Gardner panicked. There just was no.
So you think it was more he didn't get
he couldn't
set
step into his throws
at all.
Yeah, because like to your point,
because I didn't see that. I didn't go back and but just watching it live, it seemed like there were times where he at least could have thrown, and I was stunned at how little he had on the ball.
I've made this point. Remember this point. We've talked about this. I've made this point so many times with the three of us together. I think I called in all the shows and made the point every time. When you're not getting hit, quarterbacks hang in there longer because no matter how much you're trying to replicate real football, you know you're not getting hit. At the end of the day, you can hang in there and step into your throws because even if it looks like a guy would be in your face, he's got to bail at the last minute, right? It's touch football. Well, this wasn't touch football. This is the first time he's played here, Hayes, where you got to be careful, okay, because you step in out there, you're going to get lit up a little bit, and I just think he's adjusting to that. So I don't think his arm – I think you said it right. His arm, he doesn't have a great arm. It's an average arm. But I don't think his arm's any worse this week than it was before. I just think you see all the activity going on around him, which changed.
Well, that's good to hear because, it looked last night. I mean, that can be coached. It looked at times last night that he's got a skill set that it doesn't matter how smart he is. That just isn't going to translate. And again, so maybe it'll be, it'll be interesting to watch him tomorrow and see how it looks.
I think you'll see his arm. Again, he's never going to be a strong arm guy, but I think you'll see his arm look more like you expected it to look. It's certainly not Cody Kessler had the pop gun arm. It's certainly not that. So anyway, those are my thoughts of guys who looked okay, who didn't. We got to see some of those ones out there just to see what they look like. Just to see how it feels.
Yeah, but after last night, with as many guys as Doug decided to sit, do you really expect to see Foles and the entire starting offensive line and Fournette this week?
I think everybody starts the game. Every one of them. I think all 32 play. Maybe the hurt ones don't play, but all 18 play.
Yeah, I don't think he has a choice. I think he's got the fans are going to be coming out. It doesn't have to be for long, but I mean, I think you got to start the guys now.
Yeah, and again, before people panic, watch them when some of the first team guys are out there. Don't panic yet. I mean,
I think we're too late in saying that.
But haven't we known all along there'd be depth issues?
Oh, yeah.
We've known all along this was not a –
We thought, though, it would be position by position. We didn't know it would be everywhere.
Well, and there's a lot of things that went wrong, okay? But if you can't pitch it and catch it in this league today, well, nothing else matters. But again, look, I'm not sugarcoating it. They were never in plus territory. If you play 60 minutes of football and you're never in plus territory, take it from me. If you're, the play-by-play guy, you can have all this blowout material planned, but if the team's never in plus territory, you're probably through it by the beginning of the third quarter. I'm just telling you, okay? I mean, just saying. I mean, they're never in plus territory.
Did you guys start talking about blue crabs?
Yeah, we should have. It was that kind of night. So
you didn't get to any of all your red zone data.
There was no red zone. Well, or blue zone data or white zone. I'm just telling you, it was amazing. That it went like that. So we'll see. I'm not ready to. I'm not panicked yet. The strongest opinion I had coming out of there was the NFL's got to figure this out because the more money these players are making, the hotter the seat for the coaches, the more risk there is in people getting hurt. They need 2 games. And again, I don't care if it's 16-2, if it's 18-2, which is where I think it's going to land. Were you the first? You or Prisco, one of you guys were the first one that said play the 18, but they can only play the 16 unless they're specialists.
That was Pete.
That might be where it lands. I think I'm telling you, they've got to get to the 2 preseason games
or 0. I'm fine with 0 preseason.
But that's not happening. That's
I know.
That's not going to happen.
Because owners are greedy.
Yeah, they're not going to get to. They're not going to get to 0, but they can't stay like this. They can't. So we'll see what happens. More in a moment. 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Gator Bites Podcast with Ryan Green and Denny Thompson. New episodes every Wednesday.
Search 1010XL Florida Gators Podcast.
In Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Podbean.
Or visit 1010XL.com.
Have you just started thinking about selling your home? Or are you the opposite? Have you been thinking about selling your home for a long time and you are now serious and ready to take the next step? Well, good news, because Open Door is here in Jacksonville, and you can get a competitive offer on your house in, get this, just 24 hours. Open Door buys a home every 34 minutes, and yours can be next when you sell directly to Open Door. Lauren Brooks here, and trust me, selling a house is such a pain between the staging and all of the showings and people coming through your house, and you constantly have to clean it. And then, of course, there's also the risk of the buyer's financing falling through. Well, you don't have to worry about any of that with Open Door, and you can close in as little as 14 days or as long as 60 days. I love how easy Open Door's website is to use. All you have to do, enter your home information and your neighborhood information, and then you'll receive a free, no-obligation offer in just 24 hours. So go to opendoor.com/myoffer now. That's opendoor.com/myoffer.
Life beyond the gravitational pull of the city requires a can-do attitude. It takes versatility to accomplish all that needs to be done, and enough power to never get in over your head. The Kubota L-Series tractor pulls up its bootstraps, hooks up to its many attachments, and gets the job done right. That's why it's the #1 selling compact tractor in America. Kubota, shape your world.
Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road, Jacksonville, and now also in McClenny.
Pickett here, guys. I got to tell you, it's true. We just had the new air conditioning system installed at the house. We are cooler with Bueller. That's right. My wife did some research. Trust me, we compared. And at the end of the day, Bueller Air Conditioning, the clear choice. They were on time, friendly, professional from start to finish. Our new system is awesome. Take it from me. If you need air conditioning help, I recommend Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
License CAC 1816716.
Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The world is changing. Isn't it time smoking changed too? Meet Vuse Alto, a vapor product offering you a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. With long-lasting pods filled with liquid blended in the US, Vuse Alto delivers our highest performing vapor yet. Simple to use, surprisingly quiet, and impressively powerful. Vuse, leading the way today, tomorrow, and the future. Underage sale prohibited.
I'm with Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville, and when we talk Triumph, the beautiful ride, luxurious when you're out on the road, you've got a deal on the Triumph line right now.
We just got a special shipment in from Triumph, and we've got deals on bikes that we haven't even inventoried before, so it is a great time to get a Triumph.
If you log on to cyclesofjacksonville.com, you can start shopping there, but then you really have to feel what Triumph is all about.
You can shop online 24/7, but we'd love to have you come by the dealership and really see these Triumphs. They are absolutely gorgeous.
Inside the showroom on Atlantic near Regency, Cycles of Jacksonville.
The best of XL Primetime Replay is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, helping you be the best when you play.
So we going into the locker room, and Tom Coughlin, there's Gatorade all on the table, and he knocks all the Gatorade off the table and punches the Gatorade container.
Right.
And he's in Brian's face, and he's just giving it to him. And I'm saying to myself, what in the hell? I said, this is the preseason.
Baloo here for the Blue Crab Crab House, once again voted the #1 crab shack in Northeast Florida. What about Sundays over there? You kidding me? $1.95 Bloody Marys, mimosas as well, up until 5 o'clock. Alex always playing live music right there on the deck. The best seafood in Jacksonville, the Blue Crab Crab House. They've been in Jacksonville for 23 years, right there on Julington Creek Road in San Jose. I'll see you at the Blue Crab Crab House.
Back to football fever? You have it? I bet you do, like a lot of other fans out there. This is Joe C. inviting you to join us at Southampton September 11th for our Back to Football Fever golf tournament. Wear your favorite team colors, talk a little trash, and celebrate football being back. Southampton September 11th, shotgun start in the afternoon. Food on the course, prizes, and cold Bud Lights after. Call 287-PLAY to lock up a spot for your team. Back to Football Fever at Southampton, Wednesday, September 11th. Don't miss it.
Does your company have plenty of projects lined up, but you're having trouble finding qualified employees? Then you need All-Purpose Staffing. Lauren Brooks here. Let All-Purpose Staffing handle the hiring process for you by qualifying each employee, allowing you to focus on your operations and stay on schedule. From light industrial personnel to skilled personnel to administrative staff, All-Purpose Staffing works hard to find you the right employee for the job. Call All-Purpose Staffing today at 904-219-1515. That's 904-219-1515.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by Community First. Tonight is Napa Auto Care Family Fireworks on Red Shirt Friday. Tomorrow, the first 2,000 fans get a free back-to-school lunch bag courtesy of Baptist Health, and we have a post-game Christian concert on Family Faith Night. Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day with a pregame catch on the field also features an appearance from Dogman. Call 358-2846 or jackshrimp.com. Affordable family fun.
I-9 Sports, offering youth sports leagues, camps, and clinics for boys and girls ages 3 to 17 in flag football, soccer, basketball, t-ball, and cheerleading. The focus is simply on fun. Log on to i9sports.com and get your kid in the game.
Kick off your week with Breakfast with Boselli. Coffee. Tony Boselli, Dan Hicken, and Jeff Prosser. Brought to you by Claude Nolan Cadillac and ClaudeNolanCadillac.com. Breakfast provided by Chick-fil-A. Monday morning on 1010XL.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
And we love our friends at Big Chief Tire. Trust me, if you want to go to people who care about customer service, that is Big Chief Tire. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline, Andrew Gibson, and Lauren Brooks with you until 7 p.m. tonight. Talking a little Jaguars football. Preseason kicked off last night for the hometown team. And Thursday night, it is the preseason home opener against the Eagles. Nick Foles, is he going to go up against his former team and make them look bad?
Yeah, I think he's going to play. I think he and Wentz will both play in the game. So it's going to be Foles versus Wentz, which we haven't seen. That'll be kind of fun.
That'll be awesome for a series or two.
Yeah. I think Nick will play a quarter. I think it'll be more in a series or two.
Wow.
I think 25 plays, give or take, something like that. I think that'll be the plan. I think the ones will play, and I think it's important that they play, even more so now. By the way, I heard I was listening to Leon and Matt, and then your handoff with them, Lauren. I know Leon's concerned it'll be a while for Cam Robinson. That's not what the team thinks. The team thinks they'll have him to start the season. There's even some talk that he might can play a little bit in Game 3 or Game 4. So I can tell you the team expects that he's going to play. So it certainly won't be 3 or 4 weeks in. I think the team expects that he's going to be able to play. The Jawan Taylor injury, which just happened, I don't know. The team also thinks Marquise Lee is going to play. They think he's going to play some. He's going to get in that third preseason, maybe the fourth preseason game. He's going to run around a little bit. So I think so. In terms of guys that have been hurt, they're not as concerned.
What about Jake Ryan?
I didn't ask. I didn't ask that.
Well, Marone had said he had the setback.
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago.
I should have asked that. And I didn't ask that. So, I think this week you see, assuming Ogbuehi is the left tackle, I think Ogbuehi, Norwell, Linder, I'll say can for now, okay? That's because it might be Richardson at right tackle, but I think that's the way they go on Friday night. Again, I think they would have loved to have played Jawan Taylor at right tackle. I think they would have loved to have gone that way. I think they would have loved to have gone Ogbuehi, Norwell, Linder, Can, Taylor. And by the way, he may just be nicked and may be fine on Thursday. I don't know how badly he's hurt. But I think one of the points of conversation was play him. Was play the first. I think they'll go. I think Swain will go. I'm guessing you're going to see Conley, Chark, and Dede. I'm guessing you're going to see Leonard Fournette start the game. He's the one I wouldn't do much with. I might give it to him once or twice and say, see you in Kansas City, or see you when the Kansas City comes. But for me, but I think you'll see all those guys, and I think you'll see the defense. I think you will see. That's what's going to be fun. I think you're going to see Miles Jack and Calais and Ngakoue and Marcel Darius and Avery and yeah. I rode down the elevator with Avery one day, talking, and then I walked out with Marcel yesterday morning. He wasn't playing. He's hanging out, and so it just so happened the two defensive tackles, just to spend a little time with them, veteran guys, really good guys. They're both kind of funny. They want to play. You can just tell, you know what I mean? Just talking to them, walking down, walked down. I went down the elevator with Avery, then walked outside with Marcel a day later. So they're chomping at the bit. Football players like playing football. We forget it's a game sometimes. It's this big money business, and you think do they want some time off for all these practices in the sun? Probably. But they want to play football. So I think you'll see the ones, and I may be wrong, but I think it's going to be way different. I don't think it's going to feel like last night felt. The interesting thing is what happens after the first quarter. Does it feel like that again? Right? That's the question about Thursday night is, Does it feel bad again after the first quarter?
And nothing that happened last night should change anybody's opinion on the starters on this team.
Correct.
Because they weren't out there.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Nick is able to, particularly with his familiarity of what the Eagles do, if he's able to, generate some offense and have it be a totally different feel. The other thing, too, is, how much is John DeFilippo wanting to really give away in terms of what he's doing? That could have played a role last night. You probably are going to at least have more on the table with Nick in the lineup. So I absolutely think they could bounce back. Nothing that happened last night, I think, is going to affect anything that Doug does moving forward. I think the plan was always in the second game, you're going to play some guys, and they do need to get out there. I mean, it's hard. Other than if you're Julio Jones, if you're just this unbelievable player who's been doing it at a high level for 7 or 8 years in the NFL, it's hard to get out there having not had any reps in the preseason. And, other than maybe Jalen, Calais, there aren't that many guys on this team that would fall into that category. And there's none that have been doing it at a high level for, several years in a row here. But yeah, I don't think it was disappointing how bad last night was, but in no way, shape, or form should it give you any indication that the problems that we saw last night will carry over to when the starters are going against the Eagles, because it's a totally different group of players, and chances are Flip is going to call it a much different way.
What did you like last night?
I thought you mentioned C.J. Rivas. I thought he had a good game. Keelan Cole obviously had a chance to return the punt for the touchdown, but it got called back.
Yeah,
so there
Jody wasn't happy about that one.
Of course he wasn't, nor should he have been. Trey McBride, I thought the receiver looked good. It had, 42 yards on 3 catches. So I thought he made a splash. And I thought Josh Allen looked pretty good for the time he was in there. That's about all I got. Other than that, I think the rest is pretty much negative.
I like DeJuan Smoot, who initially the first thing I wrote down about him was negative because he didn't keep contained. He let the quarterback, I think it was McSorley at this point, get out, complete a pass, or maybe it was get out, run for a first down. But I will say after that, I thought he was pretty active. He had 38 snaps, made 2 tackles, 1 behind the line, also had a quarterback hit. So DeJuan Smoot, I thought it was good to at least see him show up a little bit. Eli Yanku had 3 tackles. He's a player that I continue to like. Is a guy that to get on the 53. He's a productive guy. 3 tackles in 29 snaps. Frank, to your point about Taven Bryant, no tackles in 36 snaps for Taven. I definitely agree about Josh Allen. We talked about Revis earlier. He was definitely a bright spot. So they were out there. There wasn't as many as you'd like to see. I think Trey Herndon, he's been consistent. I think he does a nice job.
Probably their 4th corner. He's probably solidified the 4th corner spot.
Right. So I think it's I think there was some decent things from certain individuals.
Right. Connor Strahan do anything for you?
Not really.
Too late.
But
too late in the game with nobody in there.
Yeah, but I mean
I called his name a bunch.
Yeah, a lot of tackles.
I found myself saying his name a bunch at the end of the game. So anything?
Yeah, and Marone mentioned him last week, or was it? I think it was this week. It was just, by the way, today feels like Monday to me.
Yeah.
Yesterday felt like Friday. Last night was the weekend, and today feels like Monday.
Well, nothing better than feeling like a Monday than realizing it's Friday.
I know.
That's pretty good.
It's actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
Right, but Marone did mention Connor and that he would get a lot of playing time. It's funny, in training camp, I've noticed a lot more players making splashes. And then last night, and I guess, we forgot to mention Gibby, your guy with the pick.
Yeah, Tay Hayes, mentioned him going into training camp. Of course, he went to my school, App State, made a big play last night. I mean, outside of that, there wasn't too many highlights, but he picked off a ball from Tracy McSorley, jumped the route on it.
You know what? You had talked, and the first thing I thought when he picked it off is because you had mentioned him, Gib. He's actually not a bad player. I don't think he's going to make this team.
Yeah, it's a crowded group at corner, but
he's a practice roster guy. He's actually a pretty good little player. He really is. And I'm glad you brought up McBride, too, Lauren. I have no idea if he's any good. He's way down the list. But at least you saw him last night, didn't you? At least you noticed him. He was noticeable. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I think, again, I'm not panicked. it was just my first, and I'm repeating myself, but my first emotion was structurally you got to change it so we don't have that. Structurally, we have to. I mean, and it's not just fans having to pay full ticket price. It's just the whole point of it. It's just doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't it boil down to owners being greedy? Isn't that all we're talking about?
Let me tell you what happened.
Billionaires wanting more money?
Well, it's a convergence of things, okay? They went to 16 games for that reason. And then they whittled back the amount of – it used to be when it was 14 games. I know when it was 12 games, you played 6 preseason. When they went to 14, is that when they went 6-4? I don't know. But,
Did starters play all 6 back then?
I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know if I paid as much attention.
Probably because they were like selling insurance in the offseason,
that's right.
Right?
That's exactly right. So way back in the day.
Yeah.
But I think a convergence of things happened, Lauren. First of all, as they went to these 4 preseason games and 16 regular season games, contracts got higher. Coaches started getting fired faster. Every injuries became more severe. We learned more about the injuries. Don't you believe back in the day, guys probably played with meniscus and ACL and they didn't know. They just taped it up and played.
They definitely played with concussions.
Yeah. They played with concussions.
Did.
So I think what's happened is injuries are more noticed than ever. Players are making more money than ever. So losing a player is more critical than ever. Coaches are on hotter seats than ever. Yet the owners haven't backed off on the amount of games. What it winds up is the establishment says, we're playing all these games. Coaches say, that's fine, but I'm not playing my guy. That's what's happening. So owner guy says we're playing the games. Coach guy says, fine, but I'm not playing until you tell me I'm not playing my guy, and I'm going to try and talk you out of it because as owner guy, you want me to win the games too. So I think again, you got to get to 2 preseason games, regardless of what else happens. They've got to get to 2 preseason games because you don't want it to be comical. Nobody wants it to be comical. Nobody wants to see a team not cross midfield. You can't not cross midfield in a game. It's not. The system isn't working if that happens too much. It's not.
But I mean, it's more the Jaguars and the Lions, right? Had horrible opening preseason games, but teams like the Giants and like the Cardinals end up benefiting because they get their guy in some action and make sure that he doesn't play the whole game, but certainly able to drive down the field and play well.
Well, here's to that point. Some teams have 2 quarterbacks. I've told you all along. I think Daniel Jones is going to be pretty good. I think all y'all are wrong. I think Daniel Jones was
he certainly looked it last night.
I think he's going to be pretty good. But I've said that from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this isn't a new opinion. But Dwayne Haskins is going to be pretty good. Some teams have 2 quarterbacks who are decent. Well, if you're one of the teams that's not where you spend any money, and the Jags are certainly a team that spent no money at backup quarterback, and that's more reason not to play your starter, right? So it's going to look the way it looked. I don't even pretend to know the Lions situation. I'm assuming Stafford didn't play if it was as bad as it was. So, but the point is, if you're one of those teams that falls into that, again, judge them on what happens this week. That's what I would say. Judge them on what happens this week. We always judge the ones anyway. If they play a half, by the way, does this group play a half against Miami or no? Do they play the whole half?
I think
quarter and a half, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
It doesn't feel like the old days, like you said. When you got to come out of the locker room, it's probably not that.
I think a guy who's won the Super Bowl MVP
probably doesn't.
I don't need to see how he reacts coming out of the half in the 3rd preseason game.
All right, we'll take a break. We got some college football and a whole lot more to get to. Glad you're with us on a Friday on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Brunell. Hi, I'm Mark Brunell.
On the fade. Touchdown to Jimmy Smith.
You have found the best Jaguars coverage in Jacksonville on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Kamal Basali, the head team physician for your Jacksonville Armada. Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is proud to provide sports medicine services to not only the Armada, but also the Jaguars, Sharks, Jacksonville University, Axman, Florida State College of Jacksonville, and the majority of local high schools and community events. With the most experienced, caring, and fellowship-trained specialists in orthopedics, it's no wonder why coaches, parents, and athletes choose JOI. Give us a call at JOI 2000 or online at JOI.net. Go where the pros go.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles update. 1 week from today, Jaguars rookie Raquel Armstead will be at Showtime from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Grab your tickets for the running backs autograph session on Friday, August 16th. Call ahead at 527-8980. That's 527-8980 for Rock Armstead next Friday. 1 mile north of the Avenues Mall at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Come see the new showroom and new displays at the Kitchen and Flooring Design Center, located on Southside Boulevard across from Tinseltown. The friendly, experienced group of interior designers will help you transform your home. They specialize in kitchen design, bath design, and closet design. The Kitchen and Flooring Design Center is used by many builders, home remodelers, and assisted living communities in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll find brands like Timberlake, Dolltile, Mohawk, Craftmade, Cambria, Legacy, and tons more. Head to floorsandkitchen.com or stop by the Kitchen and Flooring Design Center today.
My name is Janice. I'm a client of Brett Hastings. Brett is the most brilliant, diligent, hardworking attorney I have ever met. He is truly dedicated to his clients and fights for them to the very end. Brett fought hard to win a large personal injury lawsuit for me. They are the very best legal team I have ever met. I would hire them again in a heartbeat.
Learn more at justiceforjacksonville.com. Law offices of Brett Hastings, where the injured find justice.
Hi, this is Joe Butler from Black Creek Outfitters. Why should you shop at Black Creek? Is it the great staff that is committed to giving you the highest level of service? Is it our events and classes to make sure your experience in the outdoors exceeds expectation? Is it because we are locally owned and operated and committed to Jacksonville? Or is it the locally shown pricing program where we make sure you get the best price? We want to make sure your experience in our store is the best it can possibly be. So whether you're headed to the mountains or out on the water, get in here before you get out there. Shop and buy local at Black Creek Outfitters.
Secure your parking spot for this season by logging on to tailgatorsparking.com. You'll be securing your spot for another big football season, including the Eagles game on August 15th. Grab your parking spot today for the Florida State game on August 31st against Boise State. Tailgators Parking, just east of TIAA Bank Field, now taking reservations for this year's games. Tailgators Parking, safe and secure for all events. Log on today, tailgatorsparking.com.
Hacker here for Blue Chew and BlueChew.com. Gentlemen, have you lost confidence when it comes to the bedroom? Well, it can happen to the best of us, right? Well, let me fill you in on something that will get your confidence back, and that's Blue Chew. What is Blue Chew? Well, Blue Chew is the first chewable performance enhancement for the bedroom. And the great thing about chewables, they can work up to twice as fast than regular pills. Guys, at BlueChew.com, your online physician consult is absolutely free. It only takes a few minutes to connect with a BlueChew.com affiliated physician. And if you qualify, you get prescribed online quickly. One of the best parts, no trips to the doctor or the pharmacy. That's because Blue Chew is sent directly to your front door in discreet packaging. Gentlemen, go to BlueChew.com, enter promo code JAX. That's JAX. When you do that, your first order of Blue Chew is free with only $5 shipping. Trust me, gentlemen. Go to BlueChew.com, enter promo code JAX, that's JAX, and get your confidence back. And get it back with Blue Chew.
Welcome to Moe's! Craving queso but can't leave your home or office? Moe's has got you covered with a click of a button. Download the Moe's app, earn a free cup of queso, score some sweet discounts, get rewarded for every purchase, and even get your order delivered. That's right, to make things even easier, Moe's delivers, whether it's to your house or office. Download the Moe's app at the Google Play or iTunes Store today.
Welcome to Moe's!
What's up, guys? I'm Tim Tebow. 10 years ago, when I started the Tim Tebow Foundation, we did it with the goal of bringing comfort to those in need. And you know who stepped up beside us to say we want to be part of that? Florida Home AC. If you have a problem with your HVAC, look no further than Florida Home AC. Whether it's supporting Night to Shine, which is a worldwide prom for people with special needs, or donating HVAC systems to families in need, Florida Home AC is committed to the comfort of its customers and its community. I trust Florida Home AC, and you can too.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Jaguars shut out last night in the preseason opener in Baltimore. Gardner Minshew, Jaguars backup quarterback, 7 of 14 for 46 yards. Minshew on his first taste of NFL football last night.
It was super cool. Then you get punched in the mouth a little bit. But it's a great learning experience, and, ready for the next one now.
Gardner Minshew last night on Jaguars radio. The Jaguars tee it up next time on Thursday night, this time a home game against the Philadelphia Eagles at 7 o'clock here in Jacksonville. Former Gators wide receiver Antonio Callaway has been suspended for the first 4 games of the NFL season for the Browns for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy. At 3:59, 93 degrees. Your time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Back to more of a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. Big Chief Tire, with 4 locations on the First Coast to serve you.
All right, I got a question.
We've got answers.
I'm coming to you. I need answers from you guys, all of you. I need coaching. Hayes, would you say I'm coachable?
Yes.
Depends on the
I think
topic.
so.
Yeah, I think I'm coachable.
For the most part, when you want to be.
Yeah, good point. But I want you to, because
that answer was basically 75%.
But I never, and that's probably high. And I never side with Baselli on anything. Okay, but Brooks.
In fact, I've heard the word hate earlier.
Yeah, I hate Baselli. Aaron, I still hate him. I told him after I got off with you guys. We went to dinner that night. He said I was the show. I said I told everybody I hated you. He said, "Why do you hate me?" And I told the whole story. I said, I was at Booty's office, but I couldn't talk to Aaron Judge. I was at Booty. He said, "Yeah, you probably ought to hate me." So I hate him for that. But he's right about this one thing, and Brooks is right up your alley. So you're gonna have to defend this process.
Okay.
Loggeman was so happy when we went to LP Steamers.
Locust Point Steamers.
Yeah, he was so happy. He was the happiest.
Okay.
He was the happiest guy in the country. I'm telling you, you may think
he's from that area.
Yeah, that, and he just loves he was coaching us on how to get into the crabs, and you put the thing and they do the thing, and they cut and Baselli was just so miserable because there's nothing Tony Baselli would rather do than eat, and it was impeding the eating.
He said he's never again eating blue crabs, but then he realized he probably said that the last time
Well,
went up
we
there.
went the very next night to Jimmy's, but they made sure, like I told you, to Tony Baselli, peel and eat me. He told the waiter, peel and eat means you peel, I eat. Okay, so which is fun. But I do have to ask you a question, Lauren, because it's kind of your wheelhouse.
Yep, seafood.
Yeah. Why would they have? It's 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they in a restaurant? Why do we have food that we got to work so hard to eat? Why Baselli's never right. The whole time I've known him, he's never been right about anything. It's the only thing in his life he's ever been right about. Why don't they just have a setup where they bring you the food? The waiter person brings the food. Consumer person eats the food, pays for the food, and gets in the Uber. Why would we have the extra part of the whole exercise, working, grinding, sweating to get to the food? Because I don't get it. And I may or may not have been just terrible at it.
What did I tell you before you went up?
I said we're going to go to crab cakes. You go, no, I can't have blue crab. You're going to hate it. That's what you said.
I said it's going to be very difficult to get the meat out. The meat is delicious, but it's going to be very difficult, and you're not a patient person.
No,
it's
I'm not.
Not going to be fun for
Look, you were 100% right, and that kind of pisses me off too. But my point is, well, why don't they have why don't they just have? Why would they have a setting where you've got to work so hard for the food instead of just giving you the food and having you eat it?
Well, 2 things. One, I can't imagine the price of blue crabs if they literally brought you the meat from 20 blue crabs already. They picked it all out and then they put it on a plate for you.
The guys were both first-round draft picks. They could have afforded it.
And probably, but that most people, they can't put that on a menu because, I mean, do you remember how much the spread of blue crabs cost?
No.
You probably got like a bushel or a couple bushels.
I know what the total check was. I don't know what that
Right, but okay. So these are expensive, but either way. So that's A. But B, that's part of the fun of it for people who love
No, it's
seafood.
not. It's not fun.
For people who love
It's
seafood.
not
Crawfish,
fun.
when you go eat crawfish, they
Right.
dump them out with like the seafood boil, or you just get the crawfish and you twist and you suck the head if you like spicy
That's
stuff.
like going
And
to a
then-
wall and banging your head against the wall.
Yeah.
And someone said, what happened here? Well, part of
And
the
you eat
fun
out
is
the
banging
meat.
the head against the wall. No, it's not.
Well,
it's not fun.
Lobster, when you get lobster, they can take it out of the tail for you, but a lot of times they serve it in the tail and you have to get it out.
Why?
Shrimp, right? You have to peel.
So back to the lobster.
That's part of the fun.
No, it's not. It's wrong. It's.
So stick to scallops.
What about you? I mean,
Stick to
weigh in here,
stick to
please.
fish.
He's just sitting over there. What do you got on this?
I've got that. It's not that hard to break crabs open. That's
Well,
what I've.
so stone crab
Are you
claws
suggesting I'm
and-
overrating the process
Yeah,
of it?
I can see the.
It is
I
hard.
can see
They're
that it would
little.
be frustrating.
They're very little.
But yeah, I think there's.
Not little. They're like this.
But the meat, like have you ever had king crab or stone claws, right? The legs are gigantic, and you crack them, and you get a huge chunk of meat. And that is entirely different than blue crabs.
Right, and that I can handle.
You can get like blue crab claws that are just the claws.
Right.
Now I don't know if they had that. They probably did. Had it available, but I am of the opinion that it is fun to crack open the seafood.
So you're exercising your right to be wrong too. I don't mind that. Okay.
I get your point. You want to show up, but that's where they make the crab cakes. Because then you show up and you eat
like
the
having
crab already done.
It's like having a pizza that comes in a padlocked bucket, and you've got to guess the combination. Man, that's fun, guessing the combination. No, I don't want to guess the combination, Hayes. I want to eat the pizza.
But
I guess I would say like this. You can go into a market, and you can buy crabs that you have to, boil and then crack open yourself. Or you can buy a small thing of like blue crab meat, like lump crab meat.
Right.
And like to me, I would never just buy the thing of lump crab meat.
Why, you too snooty
and
for
eat
crab
that.
meat? Why?
No, it's actually the opposite of it. I'm more blue collar and don't mind getting the
You're tough and rugged. Okay.
Yeah,
it's about being tough and rugged.
And look, you get little, cuts on your hands from time to time, and you got to just grind through it. And sometimes you get a stubborn shell, then you have to.
You got to fight. You got to fight.
I'm on like the 9th different angle trying to get the claw broken, and you can, and it's frustrating. But
Hayes, you would love scalloping. You would love it. Because
take me, I'm ready.
when you go get the scallops, then you come back and you sit around and you have to get them open. I mean, you put them on ice.
The best part of your
open.
scalloping trip is Hayes on air. Hayes goes, she acts like it's hard. It can't be very hard.
I said I act like it's hard. I said it's easy.
Hayes goes, it can't be very hard. I mean, how hard can it be?
I've always said lobstering is hard. Scalloping is super easy. But Frank, this is where you and I disagree. You like the Melting Pot, which is a phenomenal restaurant.
No, I don't like the Melting Pot.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
I can't stand the Melting Pot. My wife likes it.
Okay, I thought you liked it.
The worst place of all time.
No, it's a great place.
Are they an advertiser?
I think at times they are.
No,
it's a great place.
No,
I
said I like that.
I thought you said you loved it. Maybe you just said Suzanne loved it, and
Suzanne
I
loves it.
translated it for you.
I love it so much. We've been once in about 12 years.
I will say this. I'm surprised at somebody that can watch like 162 baseball games and have that sort of patience
a very
to lock
good
in on
point.
that. Can't take like 15 minutes and break some crab.
So you're also thinking if I'm masochistic enough to watch the Pirates, I should be masochistic enough to cut my hand. Gibby, what do you got? Some breaking news.
What did you see? On this topic, breaking news? Josh Scobie has weighed in. He just tweeted a minute ago, Lauren, to you, Frangie and Baselli seem very high maintenance.
Well,
he is correct on that.
Scobie, you're right about that. I can't deny any of that. I'm very high maintenance, and A, it's true. B, please don't compare me to Bo. Whatever you do, Scobes. But no, it's just too hard. Too hard. The work's too hard.
And I do understand if you're starving, I get it. Like if you're starving and you go, okay, but I think I heard a little bit of the story. You guys order like 6 or 8 appetizers?
You have no idea how much food.
Yeah. So like I would say,
they're professional eaters.
Right.
You've never seen anything like this.
If I'm starving, then it's tough because you do want to. But if you've had some appetizers, you're ready to eat dinner, but you're not like starving, then I think it's fun.
Well, from now on,
I don't like it when like they explode. So you also not only do you have to deal with the cuts on your hands, but sometimes you'll get like crab juice that just flies all over you.
Well,
That's why you have the napkin on.
Well, you guys, I'm going to turn over a new leaf. I'm glad you guys brought this up. Next time I go to Ruth's Chris, I said, I don't want to eat it until I wrestle the damn steer to the ground, okay? I'll wrestle them. Okay? Give me a lasso before I eat my steak. I mean, it's unbelievable how hard you have to work to eat it.
It's really, I'm telling you, you would love like the much bigger crab legs where all you have to do is crack it and then you dip it in the butter and you eat it and you get a big piece of meat. The blue crabs are, I can understand why if you didn't grow up with it, you are really fighting hard to get, or working hard to get a very small amount of meat. The reward is not always there.
But the reason you do it is because it's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Don't you feel?
Experience.
So what happened was it was fun the other day.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I was there, I would have loved it.
And the meat's probably better when you're cracking it open as opposed to eating it out of.
Why is it better?
Because it's fresh.
Yeah, it's
right out of the shell.
Not happy with it.
Don't you feel a sense of accomplishment when you pull out like a big piece of crab meat?
But in the blue crabs, there's not really even a big piece.
Lagerman was the best because God bless it. Jeff Lagerman's the best guy of all time. He's in the good. I'm not kidding. He's in the Good Guy Hall of Fame, and he was. I mean, he is coaching. He is telling how to hold it, where to hit. He said, don't eat the what did he say? Don't eat the liver? Is that what you don't eat? Is it the liver?
Yeah, there's
Am I
part of
getting
the
it right?
belly part that, you have
He
to
said, don't eat the
avoid.
liver.
Yeah.
I said, Lux, how do I know what the liver is? It's just a bunch of meat. Am I supposed to know that? I mean, don't eat the liver. Whatever you do, you're going to get sick. Don't eat the liver because you'll get sick. That's what he said.
But it makes sense that he would like it too, because he's someone who enjoys working to get his food, right? Fishing and hunting, those are things where you enjoy the process in order to get to the end game.
I guess, yeah. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I want to come back into college football. The Gators have a new recruit. I don't know if he crabs or eats crabs or what's it, but a big-time player.
But I've heard he's low maintenance.
He's, you know what then? We'll take him. Back in a moment, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Now, the Lamb Rant, brought to you by the Best Bet Card Rooms at Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Over the years, top-tier NFL quarterbacks have hit their stride in their mid to late 20s and maintain a top level of play until their mid-30s. Traditionally, that's a point when they have plenty of money in their bank accounts, are ready to play golf 12 months a year, and find all the hits they've taken make it harder to stay in top physical condition. Times have changed. Because of rule changes over the last 5 or 10 years, today's quarterbacks don't get hit very often. How else can you explain the makeup of today's elite quarterbacks and their ages? None seem to be slowing down. The poster boys are Tom Brady, 42, and Drew Brees, 40. Ben Roethlisberger and Phillip Rivers are 37. Aaron Rodgers is 35, and Matt Ryan is 34. All are among the top 10 quarterbacks. Of that group, Patrick Mahomes is the baby at 22. Andrew Luck and Russell Wilson are 30. You pick number 10. This bodes well for the Jaguars. If Nick Foles, 30, is the real deal, he might be around for another 10 years or more.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey folks, if these hot summer days have you looking for a no-fuss dinner option for the whole family, look no further than Chick-fil-A. Go for the delicious chicken and stay for the hospitality. You'll get the most bang for your buck and satisfy even the pickiest eaters with a 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets tray. Just be sure to get enough dipping sauce. And if you still have room for dessert, satisfy your sweet tooth by sipping on a seasonal peach milkshake. But just like summer, it's only here for a little while longer. So be sure to stop by Chick-fil-A.
Baloo here for Key Buick GMC. Right now, come test drive one of the best-selling crossovers in America. I'm talking about the Buick Envision, the Buick Encore. Save up to 20% right now on all new 2019 Buick Encores and Envisions. Also, the lifetime powertrain warranty in effect when you buy a brand new Buick or GMC from Key. Across the street from Tinseltown, Southside, and Gate.
Jags fans, this one's for you. Enter the TIAA Bank Take the Field sweepstakes for your chance to win 2 club tickets and get pregame sideline access to be on the field when the Jags come out of the tunnel. A new winner will be chosen for each home game. To enter and for official rules, visit TIAABank.com/takethefield. No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents of 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Void where prohibited. Entry period from 8/5/2019 to 12/18/2019. For official rules and complete details, visit TIAABank.com/takethefield. Sponsor TIAA FSB.
How much is hard water costing you? If you live in the Jacksonville area, you probably have hard water and it's likely doing damage around your home. If that's the case, you need to call me. I'm MJ Easterling, president of Florida Pump Service. A water softener can help save you money and even time spent on cleaning. Call Florida Pump Service today for a free, no-hassle water test at 269-0202 or visit floridapumpservice.com. Florida Pump Service. We make water happen.
Attention Jags fans, Money Pages is giving away 4,000 preseason tickets to celebrate the 25th season of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is your chance for you and a friend to win free preseason tickets. All you have to do is download the free Money Pages app today, and you can enter to win. The savings don't stop there. When you download the free Money Pages mobile app, you'll unlock great local savings on the go. Good luck, and go Jaguars!
No purchase necessary. At least 18. Void outside Florida and Georgia. See moneypagesticketgiveaway.com for entry dates and official rules.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. I am attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyoublow.com.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists helps you be the best when you play and brings you
the best of Into the Night Replay.
I wouldn't play Nick Foles Thursday night. I don't see what you gain by playing him on Thursday night. Here's a guy where you don't hear anything about camp arm. Here's a guy who doesn't take days off, doesn't take series off. He's practicing. He's doing everything right. I'm not going to risk the injury.
Mayor Lenny Curry here. All of us play a role in improving the safety of our roadway. Drivers, remember to leave at least 3 feet passing distance for bicyclists. It's the law. And keep your devices down and keep your heads up. Be all in, Duval. Go to coj.net for more safety tips.
Like working outdoors and want better pay and benefits? Superior Fence and Rail is seeking full-time fence installers who can provide first-class customer service. Recognized as a best place to work on the First Coast, they'll train you to work with their professional team and provide you with all the tools you need to be a top-notch installer. Get off the fence. Call Superior Fence and Rail today and start your career.
When you're on the fence about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
If you're facing surgery or taking medications for erectile dysfunction, there is an alternative solution, Core Wave Therapy. This is Dr. West, board-certified urologist with the McKeever Clinic. With Core Wave Therapy, you'll experience an ED solution with many benefits over traditional therapies such as surgery or pills. The procedures are short, painless, and have no downtime.
Call 355-6583 or visit McKeeverClinic.com. That's MCIVER. McKeever Clinic, innovators in urological care since 1921.
Exciting news from Diamonds Direct. We're moving. Thanks to the way you've embraced our unique concept, we've totally outgrown our current showroom. So, we're upgrading. Moving to a brand new store that's 50% larger with an even larger selection to serve you. The new Diamonds Direct is opening very soon off Town Center Parkway just left of the Hyatt. It's a freestanding building with a stunning new showroom with incredible lake views and more fine jewelry than you've ever seen in one place. Same great people, same great industry-leading warranties and guarantees, same unbeatable values. But it's in a new, spacious, modern, and luxurious showroom with even more diamonds, more designer jewelry, more engagement ring mountings, more bands and bracelets and pendants and earrings. It's the best selection in all of Florida. At Diamonds Direct, our passion is celebrating love and new beginnings, and now we invite you to join us in celebrating this new chapter in our life. Diamonds Direct, upgrading to an all-new showroom opening soon off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt behind Firebirds.
Hey Jacksonville, Wally from Pro Drivers. If drivers are important to your business, please give us a chance to show you how we can help you drive better results. We didn't become the nation's highest-rated provider of professional drivers by accident. Call me at 904-801-9451.
Watch this. Get your golf weekend started early during Brunch with the Tour. Tour news, tips, and inside info brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. Breakfast provided by Chick-fil-A. Now I'm really hungry. Wednesday morning on 1010XL.
Back to more of Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. Family owned since 1961. It's Big Chief Tire.
Hayes, catch me up on this new recruit, please. So the guy's transfer, it's a 5-star from Georgia, right? Linebacker?
It is Brenton Cox Jr.
What's the story? Why did he leave Georgia?
So it looks like it was a mutual parting between the school and the player. Initially, there was reports that Georgia had kicked him out of school. And Georgia's own reporters are saying that's not the case. It was they mutually split. But Cox had a allegation of marijuana possession, and I don't know how much that had to do with it. So, it seems like he played a lot last year, but it seems like for whatever reason, Georgia and the kid had a falling out. So now he's a Gator.
Gibby, what's the word? Did you hear?
Yeah, I talked to a Georgia fan last night that said that he got into it with Kirby Smart, and Kirby Smart said, all right, get out, pretty much. Because he got into it with a scout team player, and then Kirby went over to see, this is what I heard, the big Georgia fan told me this is what happened, that he got into it with a scout player, Kirby went over to see what was going on, and then he smarted off to Kirby Smart, I guess you could say it that way, and he was gone.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know much about him. I know he's a 5-star, right?
Correct.
Not a lot of those 5s have made their way to Gainesville very often.
He's the only one on the roster.
Yeah, he'd be the only one on the roster.
He's the only one. Yep. And he did play a lot for Georgia last year. So started in the bowl game. I think he played in 13 games. But anyway, I'm not a big fan of the move. But
why not?
I just don't like Florida taking scraps from Georgia. And I don't care that he was a 5-star. To me, it's, Dan Mullen said earlier this week, I'm looking for alpha dogs. This, to me, doesn't feel like that. Kind of a guy that fits that bill. If he was supremely talented, Georgia's not letting him go. So there must be baggage. There must be issues. So I wish the kid nothing but the best. Certainly, everybody deserves second chance, and hopefully he'll make the most of it. But I'm not a big fan of this. I think Dan Mullen does a really good job on game day. I think he does a really good job constructing game plans during the week. I'm not a huge fan of how he builds his roster from what I've seen so far.
Meaning what?
Meaning I just don't
transfers.
Right. Chris Steele, Jalen Jones. Now you're taking a kid that Georgia had enough of. I think Trevon Grimes, Van Jefferson, those were good moves. Those kids so far seem like they've been real assets to the program. But he took a couple kids in this class that couldn't get in academically. I think that's inexcusable for the University of Florida. So I think in terms of roster building, Dan Mullen takes shortcuts, and I think he's going to have to be better at that. And I certainly think he can get better at it. Because I think he's great at development. I love his staff. And like I said, I think when it comes to game planning and game management, I think he's very good. But this is, in my opinion, a weakness of Dan Mullen's.
And I certainly can understand that. If I'm the coach and a 5-star is interested in walking into my program, then I'm probably going to take him. Even if, yes, he can't play probably this year, although who knows with the NCAA if he claims
I would think he's a sit-out this year.
I'm going to guess, right, that he sits out this year. But at this point, he now is the only 5-star. So I understand why Mullen's taking him. With this particular kid, the fact that it was the marijuana, that doesn't bother me. But getting into anything with coaches, that certainly cannot be excused. And I understand why he's not at Georgia anymore. But he now has a second chance to start over. To me, the only issue I've had with Mullen this week is once the news came out about what happened with John Huggins and the tutor, that particular player I don't think should be on Florida's roster anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of number one. That's different because if he choked a girl, he shouldn't be there. Period.
Especially not saying anyone,
okay,
right? But especially a person who's either volunteering or getting paid to help you.
If you choked a woman, you shouldn't be gone. I agree with you. But back to this kid, I don't know if he should be on there or not because I don't know if I know enough about him. I think what you're saying, Hayes, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I get it. Is go recruit 4s and 5-stars and build your team that way. Not this transfer and that cast off and this risky kid. And I think, but I'll say this. Number one, right now he's building a roster the way you build it at Mississippi State. That's what he knows. Mississippi State, you're gonna take some risks. You're gonna take some chances. You're gonna take every transfer you can get. You're probably gonna take some JUCO guys. That's how you build it at Mississippi State. That's what
Jeffrey Simmons.
It's what he knows. He's building it the way he knows to build it. At Florida, you shouldn't have to build it that way, and he's not done that. Remember, he was on Urban's staff, but he was never one of Urban's good recruiters. That wasn't what he did there, and that was 10 years ago. That was a long time ago since he's been on Urban's staff. So I think number one, he's doing it. This is a survival. Right now, you'd like to do it better. You're just trying to stay above float from a roster building standpoint. So I'd like to. And again, he's still only coached one season there. I'd like to think by the time he's coached 4 seasons there, they're getting 4s and 5s and aren't going to have to take chances on kids. So that's one thought. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that. The bigger question is, and we'll probably keep this past the segment because we're coming up on a break here. But is he turning a blind eye to troubled kids? Is he going to have a crime-filled roster like Urban Meyer had? That's the question. Is the culture out of control the way Urban's was? This guy, Neil Blackman from Saturday Down South, wrote a fantastic story about this. Blackman, I don't know Neil. He's a fantastic writer. He should be a sports writer writing for The Athletic or whoever. He's really, really a good writer. But I think he's a lawyer that makes a bunch of money, and he's a big Gator fan, so that's his life, not writing. But he writes some for Saturday Down South, writes a lot of basketball stuff. He wrote a fantastic story about this. You got to go read it. It's on Saturday Down South. I'm telling you, a fantastic story about Mullen, his culture. Is he like Urban? He goes through sites. He refers to a lot of domestic assault, and he refers to them as gender-specific crimes that are so hard. And he's gone to court on some of these because he's a lawyer. Now, the column he wrote it's kind of slanted toward Florida because he's a Florida guy, and the peg of the column is he thinks Mullen is not urban, and that Mullen will have a better culture than Urban. And he points out the fact that of the 5 cases that someone's accused somebody of something, Huggins is the only one still around. That he's run them all off. His point is he's run the other ones all off.
That's why I feel the way I do about Huggins.
Yeah. So, but it's a fascinating story. I want to get more into it. So we're going to talk more about that as the show moves along. Let's take a break. When we come back, a big story in the world of the NBA is this Rich Paul, and he's become the agent of all agents. So much so that the NCAA has now said there's certain parameters you have to be an agent that talks to an underclassman if you want to keep your NCAA eligibility. One of them is a college degree. Well, this guy, Rich Paul, doesn't have a college degree. Is that aimed at him, and what potential lawsuits are coming, and what are the legalities? Brett Hastings is here. He is our legal analyst. He'll talk about it after this on Sports and Courts. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I can get used to this winning thing!
Because winning is the best deodorant.
You smell like a winner!
1010XL. Get you some of that.
Hey, if you want a bank you can trust, you want Center State Bank with 7 locations here on the First Coast. Terrific people, terrific bankers. They understand banking and finance. They understand how hard it is to start and maintain a business. That's why they're Florida's business bank. But they also understand how important it is to treat you right on a personal level. Nice folks, good bankers. That's what you get from Center State Bank. It really is. I love banking at Center State Bank. 7 locations on the First Coast. You want a bank? You want Center State Bank.
Honda, I like it. Oh yeah, I like it.
There is only one summer and only one Honda Summer Spectacular event. We are pleased to announce that every Honda model is on sale during this event. Accord, Civic, CR-V, Pilot, Ridgeline, Fit, HR-V, and even the all-new Passport. If Honda makes it, it is on sale. The only thing better than summer, a Honda Summer Spectacular event going on now at your local Honda dealer. Don't miss it.
Honda, I like it. Oh yeah, I like it.
Dave Benyon here with Zerorez. My sons and I just cleaned a massive church building, and wow, did the carpets look great when we were done. If your church, place of business, or office floors need cleaning, give Zerorez a call. That same great process that works in your home works at your work. If your workplace needs cleaning, tell the boss to call Zerorez. We'll be glad to come and do a free estimate. For the month of August only, we are offering 20% off all commercial carpet cleaning. Zerorez spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Baloo here for the Blue Crab Crab House, once again voted the #1 crab shack in Northeast Florida. What about Sundays over there? You kidding me? $1.95 Bloody Marys, mimosas as well, up until 5 o'clock. Alex always playing live music right there on the deck. The best seafood in Jacksonville, the Blue Crab Crab House. They've been in Jacksonville for 23 years, right there on Julington Creek Road in San Jose. I'll see you at the Blue Crab Crab House.
If you're an experienced welder or pipe fitter, Local 234 Plumbers and Pipe Fitters is looking for you now. They provide competitive pay and great benefits that are no cost to you. That's $29.84 an hour, and with those benefits, you'll be earning $44 an hour. Join an organization with thousands of members that have the same goal as you, to get the job done right. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Dan Hicken, mornings on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Before the surgery, there's a lot of pain. Every time I would swim in a swim meet or any type of race or anything, I was like hunched over in pain.
Stetson Lane talks about her experience with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
And then after the surgery, I'm back to doing everything I used to do, and so I feel great now. I would definitely go back to Southeast Orthopedic. They really made me feel like I was welcomed and at home.
Get your body moving again with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Find out more at se-ortho.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to divorcemenonly.com. Divorcemenonly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
We've been saving people money for over 50 years. Now at Mavis Discount Tire, save even more. Right now, get up to $100 back on a set of 4 select Continental tires. You always save at Mavis Discount Tire. Visit MavisTire.com to see our huge tire selection and to find a store near you. Come in today and save.
Mavis Discount Tire, America's discount tire store.
Legal and other restrictions apply. See stores for rebate details.
Call Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. We want to win your business with honest and upfront transmission service. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. That's a promise from me. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Acoin Stamp Gallery has money for you. That's right. Acoin and Stamp Gallery knows there's lots of unused or unwanted jewelry sitting around collecting dust. Acoin turns that into cash. They buy, sell, and trade coins, gold, platinum, fine jewelry, Rolex watches, guns, and more. Visit Bill Hatchett and the professionals at Acoin, 6217 St. Augustine Road, near University, for the money you need. Go online to a-coin.com to see all Acoin can do for you.
Acoin and Stamp Gallery has money for you. That's right, Acoin and Stamp Gallery knows there's lots of unused or unwanted jewelry sitting around collecting dust. Acoin turns that into cash. They buy, sell, and trade coins, gold, platinum, fine jewelry, Rolex watches, guns, and more. Visit Bill Hatchett and the professionals at Acoin, 6217 St. Augustine Road near University for the money you need. Go online to a-coin.com to see all Acoin can do for you. a-coin.com.
Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline so you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know. Check out Hayes' blog at 1010XL.com. Brought to you by Stone Core Outdoor Furniture, Jacksonville's Outdoor Solution Center.
It's Sports and Courts, where we discuss legal issues that affect the world of sports, brought to you by the law offices of Brett Hastings.
All right, you're a fishing guy, right? Outdoor guy?
I am.
Do you like blue crabs when you got to fight and eat them and tear the shell away and all that stuff? Do you like that?
Honestly, I love seafood, but I don't like seafood I have to work too hard
That's
to
what I'm
eat,
saying,
man. You know,
Brad. See, he's got my back
give
on
me
this.
a big old lump of blackened mahi.
Yeah.
Give me a lobster tail, that type of stuff. I mean, I like shrimp.
Yeah.
You know, and I like oysters, scallops, and all that. But
I'm
there's
saying-
too much work.
Yeah,
You know.
suddenly I'm in studio with Steve and Sonia Irwin here, who want to go attack the wild. Okay, for me, I just want a fork and a knife, and my food is all I want. Hey,
Do you not eat crawfish?
I do.
Okay, that's work.
Yeah, it is work. So
I'm with you,
It's
Brad.
more of like an
Brad,
appetizer
don't let her
deal.
back
you
you
know?
off this.
I mean,
Hey,
you don't
you
want to
stood
sit
your
down and say,
ground.
"Let's eat an entire thing."
Oh my gosh, yes,
Counselor,
I do.
Counselor, stand
I
your
do.
ground. You're right about this. Stand your ground on this.
I want like 10 pounds dumped out right in front of me.
So how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Doing good.
All good. Football season right around the corner, but I knew we were here to talk about an NBA case.
Yeah, I don't count last night as starting.
Man, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. I'm glad you brought. Well, Brett comes up with great topics for us to talk about because we're not always as connected to the sports and legal connection as he is. But I've been reading about this one too. For people that don't know, Rich Paul is LeBron's agent. I'll get to the chase here. It's LeBron's buddy, and his buddy became his agent, and now he's the agent for Anthony Davis and all these really good NBA players. And he's making a bunch of money, and he's getting them really good deals.
But he doesn't have a college degree.
Well, he doesn't have a college degree, but that was inconsequential.
Right.
Until the NCAA came along and came up with all these provisions that if you're a college player or if you want to keep your college eligibility even before you're a college player, if you want to have somebody represent you even on an advisory standpoint, he's got to meet all these qualifications, one of which is a college degree, which Rich Paul believes, and he's probably right, was targeted to keep him out. That's kind of the overview, right? So
Absolutely
now,
right.
So now
we
you have to have a college degree to talk to a guy, or if the guy talks to you and you don't have a college degree, he loses his eligibility.
What it is this. If you go with Rich Paul,
right,
you cannot opt and go back in, okay? Because he still is an agent, and what happens is under the player's agency, right, that you have to be approved through them. He is, right? He can be an NBA agent pursuant to their collective bargaining agreement, all of their other things. So right now, he is, legally can represent these people, deal on their behalf, work with the teams or whatever. But yes, what has happened with the NCAA is they said, hey, if you sign with me and then you find out you're not a lottery pick, you're going to be undrafted, and you go through the process and you want to be able to go back to Florida like Andrew Nembhard did or somebody. If you went with him, you wouldn't have the opportunity to do that because he won't be an agent that complies with the NCAA's rules regarding that. So, yeah, it seems like
So what happens?
I think they're going to
Can
be
he sue him?
You can sue him. I think there'll be a legal challenge as it relates to it, and essentially you're going to kind of vet out, the NCAA does have rulemaking authority and can say, hey, we're doing this for the right reasons. We think overall these are the type of qualifications that we think somebody should have. On the flip side is that, in all sports, we talk about it all the time, the NBA, right, has the opportunity, and to a certain extent the NCAA does, to really violate antitrust laws, right? They're the only group that's out there in town. And so I think what he would say is to say, hey, listen, I'm licensed and able to be an agent with the NBA. This was, he could argue that it was targeted towards him, work towards it. Maybe they could work something out where he's almost grandfathered in. My grandfather was an attorney, and he went to the University of Florida's College of Law as well. But he never had a college degree for undergrad. And so to get a law degree, you have to get an undergraduate degree and then get into a law school. My grandfather worked at CSX, worked his way up through upper management, and because he had been an executive previously, they felt like he had enough real-world experience at the time to allow you to go into Florida. Well, you couldn't do that now, as it relates.
Your grandfather literally got grandfathered in.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love it.
And so, in a situation
That was
like
a great
this,
moment for you, by the way, bro. Just
we
say
talk
that.
about grandfathering an older building or to do that.
That's awesome.
There is probably an opportunity legally to make a similar argument to say, hey, nobody put him on notice of this. He makes a good living. He's a professional. He hasn't had complaints. He's in compliance with what the NBA requires of him. So now that you've put this rule in place, you are affecting him. And it acts as if it's a taking or anything else. So I think there'd be some pretty good legal arguments. I would see ultimately being something where he could, be able to exist in this. Maybe it's a carve out for him. And they say, hey, there's got to be compliance by, a certain time, maybe they'd say, hey, why don't you go get a degree? But we'll give you a certain period of time where you could operate or you could go in to do these things. What I think is interesting about this is people who are looking out for the best interests of these kids is good, right? But the only way that an agent earns a fee is for you to stay with them or to stay in. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how this works out because idealistically, right? Guys are going to come in, and yet an agent, you might have a higher level of sophistication to get feedback as to whether or not you're the type of guy that should give up your college of eligibility and go into the pros now, right? Or not do the other. And so at this point, you could shoot the guy straight and go in because what's been happening for so long is people go, oh, no, you're a first rounder, sign with me. Because there's so much emphasis on them doing that. And so if he's your agent, okay, and what's going to be really interesting, I think, is to see contractually, am I going to still continue to be your agent, right? What's a little bit unclear to this rule is are you now divested of the agent? I mean, I think
once you're out of college, it doesn't matter, right?
Right, it doesn't matter. But one of the things is that I haven't been able to see the entirety of the rule, right? So what they're saying in the rule is that if you've chosen an agent, you don't go, you can go back.
Right.
So does that end the agent? Yeah. Are you going to be re-recruited by the agents? Are you allowed to continue to have the relationship with the agent? Those are just some of the things that I think will be interesting as it relates.
Baseball and hockey have it right, by the way. Baseball and hockey both say, hey, get drafted out of high school, you get drafted. You don't have to declare.
Right.
And if you don't sign, go to college. Well, that's how you should do it.
I was getting ready to watch the game last night, and I saw a story come across the TV, and it was about Ja'Kai Polite, right? And here was obviously a guy who had this really hot stock for the Gators and has had all the wrong people around him as he went into the pros, showed up, didn't have shoes to run at, the pro day at Florida and those things. What you want is these young men who have a lot of talent but don't come from a place of sophistication, get some people. Whether you're an agent or you're a lawyer, you got one job. Tell your client what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And so these young men, you want them to be successful in their lives, be able to provide for their families for a long time. So I think it's good. And that's what you'd hear the NCAA say is that, Let's get a higher level of education or some other things so that there are requirements for these people to have good guidance. But I do agree on the other thing is that if you've been doing right by people, okay, you're doing a good job for these others. And Paul probably knows as much as anybody about how to negotiate those deals, get these kids the right contracts, that he should be able to move forward and do it. You just, the whole agent thing, the bad part of it is there's just tell people what they want to hear to get them signed. And I think the guys that, unless you're the biggest players in the whole market, there's just a lot of people out there that probably aren't looking out for their best interests.
The NCAA does have some pretty good protection from the Supreme Court in terms of legal precedent. Is that correct?
Listen, we've been talking about it's eroding. The cases have not come down yet. They're up on appeal, but we have talked about it. I mean, the landscape is going to change from the, we've already seen some decisions, and they've quite frankly been watered down after O'Bannon and some stuff about being able to profit from your likenesses and any of these, types of things. The NCAA, really, when we get to sports, the law doesn't match up to all of our other laws, okay? Because in the United States, it's about capitalism and it's about a free market. And so what that says is we don't want one company in the country so that they could dictate pricing and that we don't have competition. And when we get to sports, a lot of the laws are really kind of set up and they're finagled because what do we have? The NFL is the only show in town. The NBA is the only show in town, right? We don't really have real competition as it relates to it. So the NCAA definitely has its own rulemaking authority, okay? But I think with every day that is eroding. I think we're probably 2 to 3 years away from seeing radical legal changes in college football,
So I thought that most agents were attorneys. Is this one guy, Rich Paul, is he kind of different from the mold? And by the way, in my opinion, just like when you apply for a job, it usually says college degree or 5 years experience. Shouldn't the NCAA have gone with something like that?
Yeah, I don't disagree. A lot of lawyers are agents. The NFL has certainly graduate degree, requirements and whole different things that they have. And then you have to pass, exams that are administered by the players' associations and each of those things. So there's a whole host of requirements as they do it. The reality is when you look at agents, and you look at the money that's spent in a league, there's like 5 to 6 agents in the NFL. And if you take the totality of the money that's paid out, they control 80% of that. And then there's literally thousands of guys who represent small individual players.
Let me ask you a question. To be a college football coach, even an assistant coach, you got to have a college degree. Is that challengeable in court? I mean, they say you have to have I could tell you, to be a college football coach, you have to have a...
No. I mean, it's a collegiate institution, I think, within their own rulemaking authority, for the same reason that you need to have a certain level of educational background just to be a teacher because that's part of the mission of the school. So,
yeah, because there was not Mike Munchak. Who was it? Not Freilich. Who was the really good offensive lineman that went to Pitt? Not Mark May.
And remember, the reason that this isn't challengeable is that, it's to be a college coach, but you could be a high school coach. You could do some other things that may be closer to it or similar.
There's somebody, he was either a line coach for the Steelers. Who am I thinking of? He maybe played for the Redskins. Who's on the Hogs?
Jacoby? Grimm.
Russ Grimm. Russ Grimm's who I'm thinking of. Okay, Russ Grimm, that's what I was thinking of. Russ Grimm would have gotten the Pitt job, the University of Pittsburgh job. Right. He was going to get the job. They wanted to hire him in, 2010 or 2005. The University of Pittsburgh wanted to hire Russ Grimm as their head coach, but he couldn't take the job because he didn't have a college degree, and that's why they didn't.
So he went to Pitt, but he didn't graduate from
Correct.
Pitt. Okay.
And so I wondered then. I said, can he go back and sue the NCAA because that's an NCAA rule, not a school rule.
Oh, okay.
So
I think most institutions, though, in fairness, have that rule because it's hard for the leader of the team to say, hey, everybody here needs to make grades and get a degree because it's going to do a lot for you and I don't have one. So I would think the institutions would have, a stronger argument.
Brett Hastings from the law firm of Brett Hastings. Thanks, buddy. We appreciate
it.
More in a moment on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The class of 2020 is making history. Congratulations to Trinity Christian's Fred Davis, Sandalwood's Derek Bermudez, and Fletcher's Bradley Ashmore, committed to Clemson, Florida State, and Vanderbilt. Follow them this fall under the Friday Night Lights on 1010XL.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The world is changing. Isn't it time smoking changed too? Meet Vuse Alto, a vapor product offering you a satisfying alternative to cigarettes with long-lasting pods filled with liquid blended in the U.S. Vuse Alto delivers our highest performing vapor yet. Simple to use, surprisingly quiet, and impressively powerful. Vuse, leading the way today, tomorrow, and in the future. Underage sale prohibited.
This is the Mangler. By now you've heard my commercial for Advanced Disposal on our need for CDL drivers. As a result, we've added some good drivers to our team. However, we still have some positions to fill. We're looking for CDL drivers in Northeast Florida, especially in Clay County, St. Johns County, and yes, Duval! Come be a starter on our team. Earn a solid wage and get full benefits. Head to our website, advanceddisposal.com/careers, and get signed up today. That's advanceddisposal.com/careers.
Equal opportunity employer.
Metro Rooter Plumbing is not gimmicky and doesn't have a cute tagline. Metro Rooter Plumbing is always professional, no exceptions. Metro Rooter Plumbing will diagnose solutions to fix wasteful, harmful, or unsafe plumbing problems. The diagnosis is free, and if you feel comfortable, they'll begin work right away. If you'd prefer to hold off, that's okay too. Metro Rooter plumbers are not high pressure, they're just good quality plumbers. Google Metro Rooter to schedule your appointment. They even offer same-day service, including Saturday and Sunday. MetroRooter.com.
Guggen Nation, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Exciting news from Diamonds Direct. We're moving. Thanks to the way you've embraced our unique concept, we've totally outgrown our current showroom. So, we're upgrading. Moving to a brand new store that's 50% larger with an even larger selection to serve you. The new Diamonds Direct is opening very soon off Town Center Parkway just left of the Hyatt. It's a freestanding building with a stunning new showroom with incredible lake views and more fine jewelry than you've ever seen in one place. Same great people, same great industry-leading warranties and guarantees, same unbeatable values. But it's in a new, spacious, modern, and luxurious showroom with even more diamonds, more designer jewelry, more engagement ring mountings, more bands and bracelets and pendants and earrings. It's the best selection in all of Florida. At Diamonds Direct, our passion is celebrating love and new beginnings, and now we invite you to join us in celebrating this new chapter in our life. Diamonds Direct, upgrading to an all-new showroom opening soon off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt behind Firebirds.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
What's up, North Florida poker fans? This is Allie McNeil from both Best Bet Card Rooms in Jacksonville and Orange Park. The World Poker Tour returns to Jacksonville September 27th with 22 total events and over $1.3 million in guarantees. The $5,000 buy-in Best Bet Bounty Scramble will host 30 of the most acclaimed celebrities from around the world. Knock out any of the celebrity bounties and get $2,500 on the spot. Take part in all the glory and fame at this year's WPT Series. For more information, visit them on the web at bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet, where anybody can win.
There's always a space for you to park at usapark.net. Hi, Flying Jacko here. It's the only place I park when I fly out of JIA. Simply park your car, their shuttle picks you up, drops you at your gate, easy peasy. usapark.net.
For 25 years, we've been cheering on our Jaguars with an unwavering loyalty and commitment. To celebrate this milestone season, swing by Gate and cheers to 25 years with the Jaguars' 25th Anniversary Collectible Cup. Only at Gate. Grab your 32-ounce cup today and fill it up with your favorite fountain drink for just $1.25. Then refill anytime for 99 cents, while supplies last. Gate, serving up more.
The biggest games, the biggest station, the biggest personalities. Listen this August as your favorite 1010XL personalities share their favorite moments from 25 years of franchise history. Presented by McKeever Clinic and Construction Solutions and Supply on 1010XL.
Back to more of a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. Big Chief Tire, with 4 locations on the First Coast to serve you.
Thanks to our friend Brett Hastings from the law firm of Brett Hastings for stopping by. That is Sports in Courts. It'll be interesting to see whether Rich Paul wins that battle or not. We'll see. I want to finalize our thoughts about Florida, Dan Mullen, and the culture. Hayes, what do you think? You said you're concerned about how he's building his team, but I think what you're saying is just taking too many risks. Am I?
I'm not concerned about. This week the big story was that he's had 5. And it's not even players because they're counting that staffer.
Yeah,
but he's had 5 people involved in the program that have had some issue with it, and
with domestic violence.
Correct.
Accusations.
And I think only one of them went anywhere in the legal process,
Right.
and that was the recruit that he signed but never got to Gainesville. So I'm not overly. I'm concerned about it on the whole. I would always be concerned about it in terms of is the Florida coach getting the message out that needs to be, but based on this evidence, I'm not concerned that all of a sudden, Dan Mullen doesn't take that seriously or anything like that. That's not my issue. My issue here was just simply, this is a guy that I think if he was really good, Georgia keeps. He's obviously has some baggage that he's taking, and it doesn't seem like Florida should be at a point where it's taking Georgia's scraps, which is how I view this.
But apart from this guy, you don't think there's a culture problem? Forget this guy.
No, I don't think there's a culture problem. I think Dan Mullen is too wrapped up in the transfer portal and things like that, and I think they just need to do a better job of signing players, and maybe I'm old-fashioned, but signing players and building the program through signing classes, not so much impactful transfers.
Yeah, apart from the procurement of players, Lauren, you've always been very outspoken against crimes against women, as you should be, as we all should be. Are you worried about Florida's culture?
As of now, no, because including the coach, everyone other than John Huggins, who's been involved, not even charged with, but involved or accused of crimes against women, has been asked to leave the program.
He's run them off. He's run off. Anytime there's an accusation, he's run them off.
Right, and he's been proactive in some situations. So that's how you take care. That's how you make sure that you don't have an issue. If these guys were still either on the team or Yelverton was still the coach, then I would not hold back and I would have a scathing rant against Dan Mullen, and it would be completely fake to me and fraudulent that he postures it as if his wife is very involved with these players. But I truly think Megan Mullen is involved. And I think he's making sure that he doesn't end up in the same situation that Urban Meyer was in. And I think the most important thing is that we are talking about a few guys, and most of them were new to campus. These aren't the key players who have been there for a while. A lot of it is the 18-year-olds, and that's less of someone that Mullen has had under his control.
Every coach, not every coach, but a lot of coaches, that's the crossroads. You want to succeed and make millions and be a star and be the megastar and retire and set for life, or be able to retire, set for life, the whole bit. But somewhere along the line, you're going to get the bad kid or the kid that does a bad thing. And that's the challenge. If you run them off, is your team not good? If you don't run them off, do you win, but at what cost? Urban Meyer, by all accounts, seemed to be a guy that turned a blind eye for the sake of winning. And he's not the only one. But he clearly is looked at as a guy that did that. If you really look at the reality of it, most successful coaches probably had to answer that question somewhere along the line. Mark Richt is as good a guy as there is, had to answer that. Bobby Bowden had to answer it with 2 or 3 of his players got in awful fights. And they're wonderful people. Steve Spurrier, everybody's had some guy that got in a fight. Steve Spurrier had 2 guys, Darren Hambrick and Quentin Reagans, had a knife fight with each other at a Sugar Bowl game.
Jimbo Fisher dealt with it a lot.
Jimbo Fisher did. So, and these are good men that are good coaches that have to, at some point you have to make your decision. And if you run the guy off, well, you're noble. And, I mean, nobody cleaned up a locker room more than Will Muschamp did. I can tell you that. Urban let the culture get way out of control. Will came in and cleaned it up, but got fired because he didn't win enough games. And again, the story about Blackman takes you through that whole process. It's really good. So, for me, I don't think Dan Mullen is a turn-the-blind-eye guy, and I think the evidence of that is what you said. He's run them all off. And I think he's taking some risks, Hayes, to your point, because he has to right now, because he's trying to win right away to get to where he starts to getting those 4s and 5s. I don't know if he'll ever be a great recruiter. Not everybody that's a really good coach turns into a great recruiter. But I will say this. The programs that evolve to greatness tend to recruit themselves, so you don't have to be a great recruiter. I've seen that happen.
But you first have to have some guys on your staff that are really good recruiters in order to get them to that point.
We should always have that. But that's right. But you're right. But, I mean, coach goes in and inherits a good team and wins again and wins again. Suddenly the program starts recruiting itself. But you're right. You still have to have good recruiters. And there's a lot of staffs. It's hard to find a coach that's both. Most assistant coaches are good, either really good coaches or really good recruiters. If they're both, they wind up being a head coach. The ones that are good at both wind up being a head coach. So it's a very, very interesting dynamic, the way the whole thing plays out.
We're about to go to break, so we can get to this later. But another topic in college football was Dabo Swinney didn't give Kelly Bryant a ring. And so Hayes and I both had a chance to weigh in. But I'm curious as to your thoughts maybe in the 5 o'clock hour.
Let's do it at the 5 o'clock hour. I want to get back to Jaguars in the 5 o'clock hour, but we'll start with the Kelly Bryant. All that coming up on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
What is the name of this network again?
1010XL.
It's sports.
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Around the clock, sports all the time.
Jacksonville's live and local sports radio.
That's never going to work.
1010XL. Jacksonville Sports Superstation.
Hey, look, if you're looking for an insurance agent, let me recommend State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. You call it 940-9740. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, whatever it is you need, he'll have it for you. He'll give you the best price. He'll get the situation put together that fits you the best based on the money you make, the money you want to spend on it, how much you need, how much coverage he thinks you need. And then when something goes wrong, and something always goes wrong, he'll be right there with you. I promise you, he's the best in the business. You want a great insurance agent? Call Craig Dewhurst today at State Farm at 940-9740.
Hey, listen up. Have you seen the all-new Toyota Supra? Beaver Toyota has one on its showroom floor, and we're going to auction it off. That's right, we're going to hold a public auction for this one-of-a-kind vehicle. But wait, there's more. Beaver Toyota will be donating every dollar over MSRP to support local schools and the charity of your choice. Did you know the very first 2020 Supra sold for $2.1 million? Let's break that record. Come show your support on August 24th and be a part of history. Don't make me come get you.
Hey Jacksonville, Safety Tom here with Remedy Staffing. With the heat blazing, it's time to break out the cold water, fruits, and veggies. Put away the large hot meals for lunch and grab some shade in a nice cool area during breaks at work. If you're new to the job, pace yourself. This goes for at home as well. Long days at the beach, kids' sporting events, doing work around the house. Keep the water flowing for you and your family. And remember, don't wait until you're thirsty. Drink plenty, early, and often. These are just a few simple tips for staying cool and hydrated from Remedy Staffing.
Hi folks, Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. I've told you for the longest time, if you need a new pool, it's Stanley Pools. Call them at 269-7277. New pools, remodeled pools, pavers, fire pits. They do it all, and they do an outstanding job. And they have done it in this town since 1988. It is a true family business, and they truly are the best in the business. I trust Stanley Pools. Call them today, 269-7277 for the best in the business, Stanley Pools.
When you're the victim of another person's negligence, the facts are everything. I'm talking about the fact that you're in pain, the fact that you can't work and the bills are piling up, the fact that your life is not on the same track it was before the injury. Here's a fact: your future's in jeopardy. Call me, Eddie Farah, at 396-5555 or go to farahandfarah.com. I will fight to help you get your life back, and that's a fact. Farah and Farah, protecting you and your family. Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here for Central State Bank, Florida's business bank, but also a bank you could trust. You see, that's the big thing. I've got to trust my banker. Trust that they are truly skilled bankers, but also that my needs matter. My bankers at Center State Bank know me. They know what I need. Whether it's personal, business, loans, or beyond, they know me and I trust them. In the world of banking, that relationship really matters. A bank you can trust. Center State Bank, with 7 locations in Jacksonville and St. Augustine, Florida's business bank.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
If you're a business owner, what are you doing to increase the overall worth of your company?
Learn how to make an action plan to increase your brand's value through a brand enhancement program. Starting August 16th with the Small Business Development Center at UNF. You'll learn to identify missing vital elements and grow your business's value to be a more attractive investment. Space is limited, so register today. Call 620-2441. 620-2441.
Hacker here for Blue Chew and BlueChew.com. What is Blue Chew? Well, Blue Chew is the first chewable performance enhancement for the bedroom. And the great thing about chewables, they can work up to twice as fast than regular pills. Guys, when you go to BlueChew.com, your physician consult is absolutely free. It only takes a few minutes to connect with a BlueChew.com affiliated physician. And if you qualify, guys, you get prescribed online quickly. One of the best things about Blue Chew, no awkward doctor visits, no trips to the pharmacy. That's because BlueChew.com will send you Blue Chew directly to your front door in discreet packaging. Guys, trust me. Go to BlueChew.com and our promo code JAX, that's J-A-X. When you do that, your first order of Blue Chew is free with only $5 shipping. Get your confidence back, gentlemen, and get Blue Chew at BlueChew.com. Remember to enter promo code JAX.
American Electrical Contracting, wired right at a fair price.
Check out their mobile electrician website. Want to set up a service call on the go? Use your tablet or smartphone and take advantage of online bookings for all your electrical needs. Streamline the process. Click the service request button at american-electrical.com.
American Electrical Contracting, wired right at a fair price.
At Indeed, we believe a resume is a great way to see an overview of a candidate, but you're not hiring a resume, you're hiring a person. That's why Indeed offers tools that help bridge the gap between a candidate and the resume, like skill tests, which let you actually see a candidate's abilities in action to make sure they're a good fit for the job. See beyond the resume with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WLFM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. The Jaguars now look ahead to week 2 of the preseason. The first Jaguars home game will be Thursday against the Philadelphia Eagles. Our coverage starts at 3 o'clock on Thursday with the Coastal Equipment kickoff show with Lauren Brooks, Hayes Carline, and Tony Smith. They will get you set for week 2 of the Jaguars preseason. Jags-Eagles kicks off Thursday at 7 o'clock from TIAA Bank Field. Raiders wide receiver Antonio Brown has told team officials today that unless he is able to wear his old helmet, he will not play football again. NFL